This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so I was able to put the image in and make all the menu. So
1 second, 1 second. Yeah.
yeah, so I was able to put the image in and then make all the menu.
Okay.
I did struggle with the logo just because I couldn't like it was the before and after thing.
Okay. Logo in the sense, this logo we were talking about?
Oh, sorry. Like there was a heart and a cart like this.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is that an
We'll,
image?
co-
Because I
we'll, co-
can't.
we'll, no, we'll cover that point in today's session.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah, that's all.
So any other questions do you have? Like how you
No, that
feel?
was.
You feel comfortable that
Yeah.
because you
Yeah,
are
it's okay.
making the changes, right? Like day by day
Yeah.
by adding more features to the layout.
Yeah.
Okay. So you
It's
feel
like when I
comfortable.
do it, yeah, like
Mhm.
even if I get stuck, I'm able to get out of it.
Great, great. Yeah,
Yeah.
good to hear from you that. That means you are able to do that everything
Yeah.
with
Thank you.
confidence.
Hmm.
Yeah, good.
I'll
Okay,
stop sharing.
so you sure? Yeah. Okay, so what is the website that we have the other day we discussed this one? No, not this one. What is the website that you
It's called Society 6.
Society 6? Yeah. Okay, so you said you stuck with this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 1 second. I just need to check one email.
Mm.
Okay, ready for QA, ready for QA. Let me. Yeah, fine. So you were encountered with this, right?
Mm-hmm.
These icons. Hey, just give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Out this also. What is the date today? 10th January, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Yeah. So you encountered with this, right? Okay. Let me now
Mm.
first inspect this, and you see some before and after here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So okay. So to place the icons, let us get started straight away with that. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In today's session, I hope it is recording. Yeah. Okay. So usually, when we want to, decide to insert some icons in the web page, right? So the
Mm-hmm.
immediate options that we have is image, right? But
Yeah.
the problem with the image is it is not actually scalable. Scalable in the sense when you are actually zooming that image, you can able to see pixels. Each and every image is a very common thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So first we can add that IMG search and all, but later on, what the requirement, I mean how the requirement comes when you hover on the image, right? Let us say
Yeah.
if you see this one, right? Let us say when you hover on this, there is some other color has been applied, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how difficult it is for us to make two images, like one is with the dark color, right? And second one is the somewhat light color. What if the color requirement comes with, like, when the default is green color and when you hover on some red color or yellow color, let us assume that that is the requirement. So how difficult it is for us, we need to make it two images, and based on some sort of conditions we can keep one by one, and whenever we hover on this, we can do some magic on it. That is the initial stage of making the icons. Okay,
Okay.
from the
Mm.
HTML point of view. Later, what happened, using with CSS, we can place the same image instead of HTML image element. We can make this same image with the CSS background image. So we have to handle that using with a like a system called Sprite. Okay,
Mm.
so right now nobody is using that sprites, but then I'll just give a heads up with what is meant by sprite and all within short span of time. Okay, um,
Mm.
CSS sprite, yeah, image sprite. Let us say take example of image sprite. So what exactly the image sprite is, we know. Okay, let us see that an example here. Okay, now you can see this is the output, right? You can
Mm-hmm.
see an image, two images here. But have you seen, if you see this, EMJSRC, you can see the source is same, right? For
Mm-hmm.
home also the source is same, IMG transgif, and for next also the source is same, IMG transgif. But in reality, in the output, how you are seeing, as per this HTML code, you should able to see only one image.
Mm.
You are getting my point.
Yeah.
But in the
Mm.
output, you are able to see two images or same image you are seeing twice,
Two images.
two images. If you see this AMG transif, AMG transif, how we actually handle this is, if you right click on this, copy image address, not this one.
I think it's that very small dot because it's one by one.
Mm,
Right.
I will tell you.
Mm.
Yeah, this is the actual image.
Mm.
Okay, this is the single image. Within the single image itself, you can see that that home and left arrow and right arrow. This is the whole image. But
Mm.
how we can handle this, using with CSS background image, and we have some positions. In the background image itself, we have a one more property called background hyphen position.
Mm.
Okay, but in the shorthand property, we are writing everything within the background, and we are giving URL, and what is these two are is related to position only. Position in the
Okay.
sense we have, let us say example 91 we have, right? Let me make it as 180 and run it. See, you see a different image here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the idea behind this is, when we have a multiple icons, okay, when we need to integrate like a multiple icons, so there was a system called that sprite. In the sprite, what is the procedure of making that? First, we need to keep all the icons, whatever the icons we want, right? We need to keep all the icons in one image. We need to prepare the image like that using with Photoshop. That is
Mm.
how we did actually in the early stage,
Mm.
right?
But that seems
So we need to
inefficient.
keep all of them. Sorry,
That seems inefficient.
I mean inefficient in the sense.
Like extra work.
No, but that by that time, I mean those days, that is the only option we have.
Yeah.
Because if you see, if you want to insert, okay, I'll show you something. The sprite images. If I go images, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you see, let us say that's this image. Copy image address. Okay, this is some sort of image. Okay, maybe we can go with any good image instead of this. We'll definitely get that, no issue. Yeah, let us take example of this. Let us take an example. Let's copy image address and paste here somewhere. Now, yeah, now we have this image, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's assume we need to insert 6 images
Mm.
because you can see 6 actions here. In generally, what you will do, you will make 6 images and you will place them one by one or based on the requirement, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is the very standard and initial way to make that when you want to say 6 images, 6 different images in the website. Okay, but
Mm-hmm.
when this system comes into the picture, like the one which I'm talking about, the sprite, we don't need a 6 images. We need to keep all the images in one image and take this image as a background image using with CSS, and the positions we can handle that. If you have a 0 0 position, so you can able to see the first image. You need to give some width to it. So that
Mm.
is how you can manage using with the sprite image using with the background image. Now you can different, now you can understand the difference between making 6 images is difficult or keeping everything in one image is writing CSS is difficult.
One image is easier. So
Easier, but the only thing is the difficult for you is to you need to write a CSS properly, that background image and position, right?
yeah,
End of the
yeah.
day you are able to see 6 images, but it is loading only one image only. In the
Mm-hmm.
browser there is only one image is loading when compared with
Mm.
the previous method. In the previous method you have to load 6 images. Definitely it is, but there is a point of performance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the only thing you have to think about it, if you need something like this, you just need to put all of them in a one single page. You just need to handle the background image and you need to provide the background position. Let us the same example. Let us see if they have any sort of example they provided to us or not. Yeah, if you see this, background position is 0 0 initially,
Mm.
and you have to provide width 125 and height 125. So how it is going to work with the same image? Let me put here. When background position is 0 0, so this is where the position starts. Okay,
Mm.
and you are giving that width 125 and height 125. So from 0 point it will take 125 width and height also 125, so that 125, so that you will get what, the first image
Mm-hmm.
you're getting.
Yeah.
And when it comes to second, okay, so we are using width and height as 125 pixels, and our icon are that dimension to fetch the next image in the same row. We, okay, maybe they're given a reference for other image here, but
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to handle the second, so the width and height is both are same. You just need to change the position,
Yeah.
so that position whatever we have is background is usually it will come from on left and the top. So you need to make sure left it should go from 0 to something like 120 or 130, because the width you already gave 125 for the first image. Definitely if you want to insert the second image, the left area should be more than the first image of the width, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're getting that point?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, this is a bit complex, because complex in the sense you just need to do that, you need to give exact position of the images. Let us,
Yeah.
save this image. I don't know, we can do no practical, but it will take time. So I'm just ignoring this because we are not
Mm.
nowadays we are not actually using this stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I
Very
understand.
rarest cases. Yeah, so this is how we used to manage when compare with the first method, and this is the second method. Okay, so what
Mm.
is the property that you have to focus here? Width, height, background image, the only thing you have to focus on background position. It is an
Yeah.
individual property, but when you write shorthand property, all these two values will be part of this here only. Okay, the example that we saw somewhere here, right? If you see here,
Mm-hmm.
you're getting.
Yeah.
So it becomes a shorthand property, nothing else. So this is the another method where we need to insert that icons on the third. What is the third option is very useful option to make small icons. Why first of all why we should go no images? Is there any other alternative apart from the images, whether it is a sprite or whether it is a normal image? Do we have any other option to keep the images in the website? Yes, that
Yeah.
is possible. That is possible using with fonts. Yes, you
Oh,
heard me right. Using with the fonts because usually, excuse me. So usually the fonts that we are seeing only for a text purpose.
yeah.
But from very long time onwards, the font will work as a icons also. But we are not aware of that. I mean, we are not aware of that in the sense only people who knows that, okay, or whoever
Mm-hmm.
is doing that, DTP work. Okay, DTP work in the sense people whoever is making that, the cards, like a marriage cards or some kind of old cards. Like if you observe, if you think that any old cards, right?
Mm-hmm.
They need to do some design, right?
Yeah.
So they cannot put for all of them as images, small icons. So from very long time onwards, we have a fonts. When that font is there in our system, okay, let us say now if I enter a value here like like AHO, if a proper font which supports AHO, right, now it becomes, instead of AHO it will become a one icon.
Mm.
We have a fonts like that.
Oh.
Okay, each in the keyboard, each and every letter we have a different icons when the font should be proper font. If you have a correct font, obviously when you write some code on it, so obviously that icon will generate over there.
Yeah. Okay.
That is
Understand.
so that was the old implementation only. But now we have changed that something in the easiest way for a web, right? To make
Mm-hmm.
I mean to build or to create the icons using with the fonts. That is the whole behind story of making this. Simply I can show you like okay, to to make icons, you will go with the fonts, but you should aware of that, what is the behind the work happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so now what are the fonts we have to build icons and how we gonna utilize it? Okay, and before I tell about fonts, end of the day, the fonts is not something that we are how we can say that it's not something strange thing to us. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so making icons using with that making icons in the website is very much easier now, and it is compatibility with HTML and CSS classes. They have designed in that way.
Mm.
Okay, so for that we have a few fonts in the market which supports only icons. Okay, so now if you go to that internet, font icons. So if you enter that font icons, you will get one website first, Font Awesome. Okay, and when you see that Font Awesome, right now I don't know what exactly the version it is. Okay, new version maybe they are actually making the premium, but older version it was completely free version. Okay, we can consume that
Mm.
in our websites. Okay, now let us see like yeah coding. I'll show you how it will be. Let us say, what is that? The heart one you have addressed, right? Somewhere in
Yeah.
this.
Art and icon.
Yeah. Heart and what is that other one? Cart, right?
Card.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Let us see. Do we have any heart? Let us find something low. No, let us find. Okay, let us go for first free cart. Okay, what is the version of this font awesome? Looks like, oh, it is 6.51. We don't need this 6.51. Looks like it is all versions will go. Font awesome 5, font awesome 4. Documentation will go with font awesome 4. Yeah, it is very easy to understand. It is much
Mm.
easier to understand. Okay, now we can check that icons. Now I can find something that heart. Yeah, we have heart here, and when I click on heart, yeah, so this is the heart icon.
Mhm.
Okay, and what we need to do is, okay, we just need to copy this and we need to paste into, okay, where is our folder and documentation? Why is it got stuck? Looks like, okay, yeah. Now let us say we have an index.html
Mhm.
somewhere other. What I want to do in the account, I want to make, I want to add that heart icon. So how I'm going to do is, whatever the uh, you know element and the class they have provided me, right? The same thing I have copied here. Okay, now if I save this, do you think straight away we are able to see that icon in the browser? This is
Mm.
index.html. No, but
No.
we can check that whether it is part of that HTML code or not. Yes, it is part of it. But what it is looking, if you select this I icon, generally I we gonna use for for italic purpose in the
Mm.
HTML. Okay, I is
Yeah.
for italic purpose, but there is no specific rule that we need to use only I. We can use a span also. That is the different story. But forget about that. The why we are using only I. So I stands for an
Yeah.
icon. Okay, but
Uh-huh.
in general in the HTML we use I for italic purpose only. But if you
Yeah.
see, there is a class being already applied. What is the class? FA space FA heart. So it seems that there are two classes been applied here. But have
Mhm.
you written
No.
have you written any class or properties related to these classes in our CSS?
No.
No, no, right? So what we
Mhm.
have to do is we need to write that FA heart. If you write simply FA and making some adding some properties and FA hearts, will that be fine? No,
Yeah.
because as I told you previously, if we have the font, okay, if we have that font in our system, okay, immediately FA and FA heart will work for sure. And
Mm.
then we need to write some properties also for sure. But the problem is we do not have a font in our mission.
Yeah.
And the difficult part is if you make the font in your system and if you write the relevant CSS and all, and if you upload the website into universe, I mean to say that, and if you host that, and there is no rule that end user system should have this font, right? Then definitely this font won't be visible how you are seeing the font in your mission. In their system, it will appear in a different way.
Mm.
Okay, but what is the solution for it? We cannot ask end user to download the font because why they will think about it, right?
Uh-huh.
because those kind of error also we faced. I mean, maybe you are not aware of that. I faced that, for few of the websites, right? They
Uh-huh.
clearly saying that no, they will make a one note of it. So you guys have to install our font to have a best experience. So people want how people used to do, they will download the font and they will copy that fonts and put into fonts folder in the system. And when they reload the page, obviously everything will work. But now if you make that statement in the website, people really start hating on this. Array, why should I download all this? They'll go for another website, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're getting my point.
Yeah.
Okay, so then what is the solution for it? So we have a one concept of CDN. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
CDN. So what stands for CDN is Content Delivery Network.
Mm.
Content Delivery Network. So what exactly meaning of Content Delivery Network? Okay, we need this font as I told you in our system first to see the actual font. Okay, we need that font, but
Mm-hmm.
without maintaining that font in our system and as well as the end user system also, still we can get the output. Why? Because the font and font related stuff we can host somewhere. Okay, so what
Mm-hmm.
we are doing is we are just copying that. Okay, now we'll go back to this site. We'll see that when we click on get started. Yeah, font awesome CDN. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
what I'm going to do here is adding email and all is very difficult. Let us find in the Google font awesome CDN. Font awesome CDN. What version we need? We can select any one of the version here. That is, there is no big
Mm.
deal. But what I'm going to make is version 4 because we were targeted on version 4 only, right?
Yeah.
Version
7.
4.7. Yeah, loading assets. Okay, if you see, these are all the CDN files. Okay, and if you observe that what it end it is, I mean, what is the file extension it is showing? Dot CSS only.
Mm.
Okay, and copy URL or copy link tag, whatever it is. And okay, when you copy this, it is copied. And what we are going to do is in the HTML, how we upload the CSS file in the same way only we have to, okay, copy link tag. Probably if I copy the link tag, everything will come now along with that link and all. So now earlier
Mm.
it was only this URL. Now if I copy link tag also, it will come everything. Related
Yeah.
relation is style sheet. But if you see what is the src here, it is something that css file. Of course we don't need this integrity and all, for sure you can ignore it. Okay,
Mm.
and now let's copy this. Where is our web page? Let's refresh this. Now have you were able to see that icon over there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so the point is now this css, what is the meaning? I mean, what is the name of the CSS is font awesome.css. Okay, so
Mm.
are you maintaining this font awesome CSS in your local file? No,
No.
this is something somebody is hosted. You are just taking that and you are
Oh.
utilizing into your web page.
Is it like
Okay,
if you if you do that without internet, would it still work?
no, no,
Okay.
it won't work. Okay, I mean for
Yeah.
that also we have a solution, but we'll tell one by one.
Okay.
Okay, simply, I can straight away show you like in a font awesome you can use like this. But yeah, when I start things, maybe you are already seeing me since last few days and weeks, right? So I'll
Mm-hmm.
definitely tell you that that multiple scenarios and behind history and what currently using and everything. Okay, I'll tell you that
Mm-hmm.
point as well.
Okay.
Okay, so now what are the advantage or disadvantage of this using the font awesome that series? Or any, it's not just a font awesome. Make sure to you should understand CDN concept. Okay, content delivery network or content data network, whatever it is. Okay, so the point is we're taking some content through the network, somebody's network. So the extension will be anything. It can be CSS, it can be JS or anything. The point of using this way is we are not writing something in our local. We're just using one sort of URL which somebody already worked on that and somebody is created. Okay. So if you just consume the URL, your job will be done.
Okay.
Okay. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
now what are the disadvantage or advantage of this? So first thing, the disadvantage, as you already asked this, it will work only when you have an internet.
Mm.
So that is the first thing. Okay, now when you talk about that advantage, you are not something right in your local, which comes from somewhere. Okay, so there will be no load from your server. Now, if you see style.css, you may write when you build an application, you may write like thousands of lines in the style.css. It should definitely load from your server only because you have to push this style.css also into the hosting server. But when it
Mm.
comes, you are not actually making anything, and it is not from your server. You are not actually maintaining it.
Yeah.
Something comes from that another resource, even though it has a 10,000 lines also, it won't give you any effect.
Mm.
So that is the one advantage. At the same time, what is another disadvantage? You should check that whether this URL is correct or not. Otherwise, what is the point to keep them in our HTML page?
Yeah. What if the main source is changed?
What, sorry, come again?
What if they changed the
No, no, that
what
is
the
what I'm
logo?
saying.
Yeah.
Yes, that is what I'm saying. No, that is the disadvantage. No, you should trust that only authority of the CDNs. Not everybody is
Mm.
CDNs because we never know when they will change and when they will remove it. You can't
Mm.
simply blindly trust on them, right? We cannot do that. Once if
Yeah.
you start relying on them, then it will be very difficult. We never know when they will do the magic with the URLs and files from their hosting server. In such a
Mm-hmm.
case, we have to trust. I mean, only that that authorized CDNs only. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And whenever you have an option, you just copy this because end of the day it is an URL like a web page only. You have to check that. Once this URL is working fine in the way, at least you can see something like this. If you see everything is a CSS only here, display, font and all.
Mm.
Okay. If you see font size and all, everything is there.
Yeah.
Whatever the classes that we are seeing here, the other the other way, whatever we are seeing, let us say like the example of let me go. Let us say this shower will take this. Okay, so whatever the FA and FA shower, let's copy this FA shower and paste here. Now if you see FA shower, you can see some before and there is some content. There is some code on it.
Mm.
I told you right in our if the font and everything is works fine in keyboard, if you type something, it will become a icon. So that is the actual root reference that I gave initially.
Oh.
Now, if you see, this is also like a F2CC is not something like rocket science. These are the common letters in your keyboard only, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, so the other thing that which you should understand here is the font face. This is very important. The font face. Now, I mean, this is the one thing that you have to make sure to check properly in your I mean in your browser whether the URL is working or not. And if you ask me that, okay, now let us assume that we have a font, okay, we have a font, our own font for icons, or we purchased some font, okay, we purchased like $20 or $30 some icons because there are premium fonts also available.
Mm-hmm.
In such a case, we do not have anything like this, any free resource. Definitely it is a customized font. How we can handle that, those scenarios? Because the font we purchased and the font file is available in our system. But we don't know how it is, whether it is available or not in the end user system. But we need that font only. And there is no CDN for it. How are we going to handle that situation? Right? You're getting my
Mm-hmm.
points? You're following me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so in such a case, also we have a possibility the same way how they have written the font face and all here, right? In the same way only we have to write the font face in our CSS code. And
Oh.
if you see this at the rate font face, we have to give the font to name here and src. And the same way how we are adding the image and all, also in the same way we have to give that EOT file. And most important file here is this one. And coming to this is the correct one, because the font extension, what is the extension of the font is TTF only. Like how we have a
Mm.
.css, .html, .js, .png, the same way for font also we have, I mean, we have that extension of TTF that we can check also. If you in the run straight away, if you add a font, you will be able to see the fonts folder. If you see then all the fonts, whatever the fonts we have in the system, you can able to see
Mm-hmm.
them here, right? And if you see this windings regular, where it is not showing that ABCD letters, it is showing some icons here, right? As I
Yeah.
told you, there are some fonts. And if you select any of the font and if you see the property, what is the format that it is showing as .ttf?
Oh.
Okay, so in such a case, how we gonna handle it? We have to, when you purchase a font, you have to write CSS first in the same way. And if you remember, we created already fonts folder in our folder previously in our working directory. The purpose
Mm-hmm.
of that created fonts folder is for that only. Whatever the related files, the TTF file or WOFF file, all these files, what they mentioned, right? Whatever is possible, we need to keep all of them in this directory. And in the same way, how we are uploading that CSS files, JS files, and images files into the server, in the same way only, we are going to upload our fonts folder along with that TTF files and the WFF, every files to the server. So even though that font end user doesn't have in their system, this font will load automatically in the browser, but it won't download into their machine. Okay,
Oh.
but how we are accessing really this font, right? This font
Mm-hmm.
awesome do we have in our local machine? No, right? But still we are able to see that font, right?
Yeah.
In the same way, if you upload the file into our server, so automatically everything will works.
Mm.
Are you getting that?
Yeah.
Now we can check, in like the same one, the same thing only we can check if if you okay to see. See what it is showing, font slash fonts awesome web font TTF. Now let us uh lips font awesome CSS. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try something here. See, something is downloaded into our mission.
Mm.
Yeah, so this is the font awesome font, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it is there in the code, right? When I'm copying this specific thing, and when I'm finding in the Google, the font has been downloaded into my mission, right? In the
Uh-huh.
same way, it won't actually download into their mission, but as long as that no, the TTF file is there, it will load into server automatically. It will whatever that we are seeing in our local, in the same way only end users also will see.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is a whole scenario of making fonts, but in general case, right now there are a lot of open source fonts that we have, and everybody is giving this CDNs.
Mm.
Yeah, so in such a case, we no need to worry much, I believe.
Yeah. What about Adobe fonts? Like,
Yeah, same way, Adobe fonts also. Let us say if you have a Adobe font CDN, let us check that, Adobe fonts CDN. Do we have it? Add fonts to your website. What they are suggesting here to us. Choose fonts to use. Maybe they are giving that with without
the,
with free cost. Yeah, there it
yeah,
looks like
because
they're giving.
my school
Yeah,
gives
looks like
Adobe for free. So,
yeah, looks like they are giving that. Maybe clear instructions will be there for sure for all of them
yeah.
if they are giving in such case. I mean, not just Adobe. If you see the Google fonts, right? Have you ever heard that Google fonts?
Yeah. Yeah. I've used it.
Yeah, so there are a lot of fonts, right? Same way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now let us say we have a lot of fonts here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's select this, this is something very bright, right?
Yeah.
Like a Dasara festival. Okay. So now if I decide to use this font in my web page, right? This is our web page, right? Now
Mm-hmm.
if I decided to make, okay, no, no, don't go with this. Really, we'll try something, okay. Lato. We'll use the Lato.
Yeah.
Okay, now I want to use this font. So here also Google will give you an easiest way. If you want to download, you can download the font family. And when I started downloading this Lato, the file has started downloading, and let us wait until it downloads, and we'll see what are the things that they are giving to us. Extract all Lato. Yeah, see, there are a lot of fonts that they gave to us. All the TTF files only.
Mm.
Okay, if you don't want, just listen my statement clearly. If you don't want to use CDN, okay, but you want to use the same font for your website, what you have to do? The same way, make the entire copy this, okay, paste into the fonts folder, whatever you have, like this, and write a related CSS code for it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
and whenever you are uploading the files into your server, make sure to upload these fonts also, font folder also.
Mm.
And the same way, how you are actually giving the path for CSS, right? In the
Mm-hmm.
style.css. In the same way, only you have to give a proper path also. If you observe here somewhere that we saw the src URL, right? You
Mm-hmm.
have to give a proper path. Same you have to give, because if you let's just copy this, okay? That I'll show you this. This is your CSS file. Let's assume that you made something like this. Font family, you decided that font awesome. But SRC, you have to give a proper font, because where exactly your fonts is there, your fonts is there in the fonts folder, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like this. Now you are writing something in the CSS style.css file, which is there in the CSS folder. First, you have to come out. Right? And how we, I gave you like the path how we used to take for a background image, right?
Yeah.
You have to come out first with the two dots and forward slash, and you will come to this directory. Then you can go for images or fonts or whatever you want, right? The same statement only I'm telling again. Now you don't need to go to the images folder, because you are giving path to fonts. So two dots forward slash and fonts slash whatever the file that you want, you can give that font file, font name, and the extension dot ttf. That's it.
Mm.
Okay,
Okay.
clear?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the one way. Like if you don't want to use that that CDN way, but where is the yeah? But if you want to use a CDN, it is very easy. Uh, Let us yep select this and this select this. Now I selected. I'm going to remove this thing. I want to use that regular 400 bold 700. Okay, dismiss
Mm-hmm.
this. Now if I want to use that the CSS file, so here we have two options here. One is link and second one is @import. Okay,
Oh,
link you already know.
yeah.
@import we didn't cover that, but it is also a simple thing. When we have a multiple CSS files, let us say that we have a style.css, style1.css, style2.css, style3.css, style4.css, like so on.
Mm,
Okay, let us say example, you want to use one of the properties which you defined in style5.css, right? And
mm-hmm.
you want to use index.html two files. One is that style.css and style5.css. These two files you want to use for a index.html. The way we have is this is the standard way. Okay, because you want to
Mm,
use style.css, style5.css to HTML, index.html. This is the standard way. And you very well aware of this, right? And what
mm-hmm.
is the other way we have is import at the starting point. Use that @import in the URL. You need to find that where exactly your file is. So if your style5.css also part of the same CSS folder, you don't need to give any no folder name. Simply you can write style5.css. Nothing else. You don't need to do anything.
Mm,
Within your style.css, style5.css also being loaded, and this style.css you are already linking to HTML file. You don't need to write something like style5.css separately.
mm. Okay.
You getting
Yeah.
question?
No question.
Okay. So this is another way of importing. So if you observe here, they are giving that only here. One is that standard link, and second one is import. If you see import URL, they made that internal style here. Okay, because
Mm,
we have a style element here, but still we can handle this, only we can take only this. That's also fine.
okay.
Okay, so we anyhow this link we you already know it, right? Let us take this one. Okay, I'm just copying
Okay.
this and I'm pasting here. Oh, okay. And
Mm,
now scroll down. CSS rules to specify families. So you have to give that, now you imported that font, but you have to mention that what is the font family of it, right? So I'm just copying this and I'm pasting in here. So earlier
okay.
sans serif we have, I'm just overwriting this. So
Mm,
now my entire web page will be become as a Lanto sans serif only. Now we can see this. Is there anything? No. And if you observe this URL, right, we have a weight 400 and 700. Usually 400 and 700 is a font weight. Max to max, when you give a 600 or more than 600, it will become a bold and bolder.
mm.
Less than 600, like 400, 500, these are all the normal thing. And when you give it 200, 300, or 100 also, for some of the fonts, 100 also is available, which comes very thin.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah,
Mm,
let us check that. Let us save this, save, and come back to web page and look at that fonts, that text we have. So now everything going to be changed if everything works in a correct way. I'm just reloading this page. Have you observed
Yes.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Now
Okay.
we added latter font directly from the Google.
Mm-hmm.
So this CDN works now. We tried that import method as well. So what you have to do here, just copy this because we can trust Google, right? That is what I
Yeah.
said, previously, like, the trusted authorities, authors.
Yeah, that's why I said
So this
Adobe.
is, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. If Adobe supports in the same way, you can utilize that.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as Adobe system downs or Google downs, also still this URLs won't work because the actual
Mm.
system itself down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now if you just copy this and you can check that what you will get. Any guess? What you will get? Any guess?
Uh, the code for it, for the font.
Yes, the code for it in the same way how we see that fonts and all, right? In the
Yeah.
same way, right? If you
Mm-hmm.
see this, the actual font, the TTF files also something coming from the CDN only again.
Mm.
This is the CSS for all the fonts, all the font styles. But if you observe that SRC is also something coming from the outside only.
Mm.
Okay, clear?
Okay.
So you
Mm-hmm.
can try one thing, okay? You can take any of this font like this and just copy entire thing and put in your CSS file. And each and everything, just copy this and find in Google like this. The file will going to be downloaded and save that file and put into fonts folder and change the path. Instead of the CDN path, you can change to your local path and try it.
Okay.
You understand, right? The instructions which I told
Yeah.
you just now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that at least you can see like a both. I mean, making them with the CDN at the same time without CDN also.
Mm.
Okay. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You have any question related to this fonts and all?
No, it makes sense.
Yeah. So whatever the fonts that the other websites that we saw, right? Now we can check this. So what is the font they're showing here? Something S6 glyphs icon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. GLYPHS, right? Let us check that. GLYPHS font. Okay, it is latest icon font. Yeah, it is also redirecting to the font awesome only for us.
Mm.
But this is that updated version, very latest version. Maybe for, yeah, it is 5. Okay, even you can try with 6 also. 6.51 also you can try, and you can take in the same way how we took that CDN, right? In the same way only you can take and check that, like how exactly it is coming. And if you select these icons, no, all new sharp icons or the sharp icons and all. Yeah. So now it is everything is pro. They made that everything is a pro. So we
Mm.
have to buy it. But when you really work with 4.x version, right? So it is a complete free of cost. You don't need to do anything.
Mm.
So there are a lot of categories here for designs. Also you have like lot of thing. You getting that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the behind story of it. Fonts and icons.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So you
Mm-hmm.
can try Google Fonts, Adobe Fonts, or Font Awesome icons. You can try in your own way. If you're stuck anywhere, you just Google it. You will get it. No issue.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I mean, yesterday we discussed right Bootstrap, right? So even then
Yeah.
Bootstrap also it provides some icons. Get Bootstrap, you can check. See there is an icons.getbootstrap.com. So it is also provide a lot of icons to us. If you find
Mm.
something here, search heart. Yeah, it is giving another kind of heart symbol, but yeah, that is fine. At least we can see that some icons are coming. Yeah, now we have this heart fill.
Yeah.
heartbreak, half heart, everything is coming, like pulse
Mm.
related thing. Now you just click on this, and when you use that actual bootstrap in a correct way, the same way, right? Still
Yeah.
you can handle that. And the additional advantage that you see the same way, I class is equal to BA heart. When
Yeah.
you use the bootstrap into your system, if you copy this and it will come. Otherwise, if they
Okay.
provided some SVG also, what stands for SVG? I told
Um,
you already.
I forgot.
Okay, scalable vector graphics.
Okay.
Okay, so what is the advantage of the SVG is whenever
It
you
gets, yeah.
scale it, right, you won't get
Mm-hmm.
like
No, no.
the pixel one, the pixel, it won't be pixelated. So the advantage
Mm-hmm.
that additionally Bootstrap is providing that you can copy the SVG here. Instead of making font, you can copy this and you can paste into your website. Let us copy this and let us try if it works or not. The same way where we kept that icon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here itself, let us paste this SVG. Still it works within a different model.
Mm.
Got it? Now we didn't use any bootstrap, right? We used SVG only. The
Yeah.
advantage of the SVG is we can modify the SVGs. SVGs, it pure. It looks like it is in a HTML. Okay, but this
Mm-hmm.
is comes from HTML5 only, not in the 4. These are we
Mm-hmm.
used to call them as a graphic elements. So canvas, SVG, these are the two elements we have in the HTML5. SVG's main purpose is to make logos and all. But canvas is something related to that animation purpose we use to mainly 2D animations and all. But that is very too com complex stuff of code with the JavaScript support. So
Mm.
whatever the games that you are seeing, which is built by web based, right? In
Yeah.
majority of the cases, they will use JavaScript and Canvas only.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
that is completely HTML5 gaming program. We
Mm.
really don't know need that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you see this now, I mean, we can at least handle this. Like we can change the paths and we can do that. But by default, it is coming a black color. Okay, fill current color. Maybe we can add a fill here. How it works? Let us see. Oh, it is working.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe what we can do here there is some fill is current color. We do not have any property of current color. Let's what if I add the red here? It is working. Yeah, it is working. So the advantage
Mm.
of the SVG is we can slightly modify the elements.
Wait,
And
actually,
if you just hmm,
like in on the website I'm working on, when I'm pasting the image, it looks similar to the SVG right now. They just
mm-hmm,
have the style sheet within the um, HTML, right?
SVG. Okay.
Yeah, like that's normal.
I mean, if you show me that, that then only I can tell. Let me give you a presenter. You can show me quickly.
Mm. So here for the image, like it's written like this. Is did they do
One
a
second,
similar?
just no, one second, one second. Let me zoom in this, because I'm not able to see much.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, no, this is not SVG. This is a direct IMG element only. When you see that SVG, you can see SVG element, but there is no SVG here, right?
Yeah, but I'm talking about like the width, height.
Yeah, everything is
The,
there. No? But what
why does
exactly it is there in the SRC? Just copy the only SRC and paste somewhere, and
huh?
just click on the SRC. Just in SRC, right? You have some HTTP colon
Oh
C21
yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah.
What is there? Click on that. That is a pure image.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, but like I'm talking about the style and height and all.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they have written the style, visibility, visual aspect ratio, something, lot of things. But these are all not required. That SRC set sizes, max width, these are all not at all required. Now, if you want to
Okay.
handle this in this way, whatever you
Mm-hmm.
are writing here, right? So you can write using with that. There is a class also, image hyphen something is there.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
understand that now that
That's what
you
I use.
copy that. No, no, I understand that you copied that the image where from the actual website, right? But even though still if you
Copy.
copy that, yeah, even though if you copy them, you can change the class names and all according to our regular standardized writing of CSS.
Yeah, that's what I did.
But
Mm.
in general, we cannot write. I mean, usually we cannot write the image underscore CCBFN. What stands for it?
I changed the class name when I made
Yeah,
mine.
that's what I'm saying. No, so you can. I mean, that's what I'm saying. So there is no crime and not take that direct element. Even you can copy that entire HTML. There is no risk on it. But the point is, whenever you want to modify something, whenever you want to add something, no, so make it your own way, even if you copy something.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I'll give you like,
Yeah.
one real example. Like, director SS Rajamouli, right?
Who?
SS Rajamouli, director.
Yeah. I don't
Who
know.
made that Bahubali, who made
Oh yeah,
Bahubali and Triple R, all these films, right? The director is
yeah,
S. Rajamouli. Okay, so when
yeah.
his movies are releasing, most of the people will, after if he released, the trailer or first image or glimpse, whatever it is, people will start something, trolling that, somewhere he copied from somewhere, from Hollywood movie or maybe any old movie.
Mm.
That is a very common thing, used to happen with his films usually. But if you
Yeah.
observe his film, once that end titles come to, coming into that, on the screen, there is a signature shot will come. Okay, and SSS Rajamouli film, there is some kind of stamp. So we have to understand a lot from there, from within that, that signature stamp. Okay, so you can copy anything from anywhere, but end of the day, when people visit the website or when you visit the website, nobody should feel that this is something copied from somewhere.
Mm.
Okay, that is a very good
Yeah.
lesson that we should learn it. Even though he copied, we people will straight away putting his screens and as well as the way where he copied the screens. Looks like both are same. But still, we
Okay.
are agreeing that he's making wonderful, and to
Mm.
satisfy our minds also, end of the day, he's giving that stamp that an SS Rajamouli film.
Mm.
Okay, so this is a very good lesson that we should learn it. You can copy entire HTML and entire CSS, but end of the day, when somebody visits your website, they shouldn't feel that oh, Darshana didn't made anything. Maybe she copied from somewhere. Once they start thinking, and then when all your efforts will be gone, right? That is the
Yeah.
most important thing. And if you see that, the code, whatever you are saying, that this is something in your local or it is some website. This is
This
something
is
website, right? So yeah, just now open that UI. We have opened the UI. I thought it is in your code only. Okay, now if you check this, right click on this image. Yeah. Now see, still, I mean, you removed that, but still you maintain that an image as an image, and even if you see the class also, you have added image container hyphen homepage, main
mm-hmm.
center hyphen homepage. And href also you copied. You do not have any href, and there is no meaning of that href giving that.
HR.
Href, anchor href, above element.
Wait, I don't see. Oh.
No, yeah,
Oh.
yeah, that one. Yeah, that href only I'm talking.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because
Mm-hmm.
you were trying to build the web page, not something somebody's no code, right?
Mm-hmm.
In such a case, you can copy entire a anchor tag, within that all these elements and all. But when it comes to once you pasted the code snippet from some other source to your website, immediately the one which you has to do is remove whatever they have written, or you can
Mm.
override or you can change slightly.
Yeah, I'm planning on going back and erasing the parts I don't need.
Mm. Yeah. So even though, so if you see that SRC, right? So they gave something like, JPEG attempt is equal to 0. So you copied that, URL. But in general, let us say there is a image in your images folder. Will you be able to give like this? No, right? In the file
No.
extension, also you will write in a correct way, like, so and so image name and dot JPEG, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're getting my point?
Yeah.
Yeah. So these are the things we must do.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
Yes.
mean, in one way, I'm very much happy that you understand that how you took in very short span of time. One way that I'm really happy, and the other way I'm surprising also. Like how fast you took that that confidence. Whatever the website it is, now I can able to copy their code and I can put into my website and I can make a web page. That
Yeah,
confidence is
I
very
thought
people.
that's
Huh,
good to
what?
hear. I thought I was too slow.
No, 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 no. Absolutely, absolutely. You are in a very correct track, and this is what actually end of the day, usually trainers will expect.
Mm.
Okay, so the only problem, right? In general case, people will get, they will learn entire subject, HTML, they will learn CSS, JavaScript, and whatnot. Everything they can learn, but they don't know how to really mix all of them together,
Mm.
and they are really not aware of that. When they see any website, how to build this website, they have a zero knowledge. But
Yeah,
straight
I
away
think
you were jumping to build a website, you can see whatever the website. And now I'm just imagining that how you are thinking whenever you see a website. If I'm not wrong, what are the websites that you are seeing that you have a now confidence? Okay, this I can make it. Let us first check that inspect element, how they have written, what are the classes that they have written. This is how you are thinking, if I'm not wrong,
yeah.
right?
Even yeah, even when I was doing UX, I could see a page and be like, this is what they did, this is the padding, this is so it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
extra level.
Now you have a no idea of that properties, CSS properties, and HTML also, right? So yeah, yeah, it's a good sign. Fine. Yeah, let me reshare the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that is how we can handle that. What other things that we need to cover? As I told you yesterday, there are few HTML5 elements, right? I
Uh-huh.
hope that video and audio thing. I think you can check it in your own way. It's not a big deal to check them because we do not have much thing on HTML audio and video, right?
Mm-hmm.
But actually, I'm thinking that yeah. So audio and the video, it's a very straightforward thing. You can semantic elements we already discussed yesterday, right? Any question on
Yeah.
this semantic elements, and I explained that what is the purpose of them. So still in your website now onwards, whatever the current websites that you are doing, right? You can change this instead of div, you can make it as a header straight away.
Mm. I did use some.
And yeah, you can make it something like this. So in our website also we did that in the footer one. We added that a div class is equal to footer. Now I'm going to change this. I'm not going to change the classes, but I'm just changing the elements only. If you
Mm.
observe, right?
Yeah.
And there will be no issue for sure if you simply change that, right? So use
Mm-hmm.
better to use all the semantic elements aside, header, footer, nav, section, main, all of them. And audio and video, you are definitely you're not going to use in general cases. But still, if you want to keep any, nobody is using that audios. But people are really interested to play some videos, but not in this way. Why
Mm.
not in this way, right? Because you have a own brand, okay, and you want to you want to play a video related to your brand in your website, okay. End of the day, the video you have to upload that video into the your server, and from there only it has to serve. So there is some burden to server, and when it is downloading from the server to play to end user, it takes some time. So you will get in some buffer issue as well while loading or while playing the video. So that is the reason most of the people will decided to play their brand videos. First, what they are doing, they are creating one account on the YouTube and they will upload their videos to YouTube, and from there they are giving that link.
Mm.
Okay, I hope you aware of that how to insert the YouTube videos into your website. Do you know that?
Uh, yeah, I know how to do it like through YouTube.
You know how to make that how to put a YouTube video in your web page. Let us say you have this web page, right? In
Mm-hmm.
this place, now if I want to play YouTube video, do you know
Would you
the
just
process?
no? But I'm guessing you put the link, embed
I
the link.
mean, directly YouTube link or what? It won't
No,
work,
no, no.
right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. Let us say that there is a one video of tailwind.
Mm-hmm.
So there is somewhere here share. Don't think that this URL. Okay.
Yeah.
When you
Is it
click the
embed?
share, yeah, embed, you will get that that iframe comes.
Mm-hmm.
You should copy this entire iframe. Oh, no. You should copy this entire iframe, copy, and when you paste into your web page, it will work.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
like
you are aware of it, right? I no
yeah,
need to show. Yeah.
because I
So
always
in
check.
this way,
I've actually
sorry.
done it. I've done it before once.
Okay. So the advantage, right, with this, you something is playing in your website, and there is no burden to your web page because the video is coming from some other source, like YouTube. If there is a burden, YouTube will take care of it. It's not your problem.
Hmm.
So that is the reason majority of even the branding websites and all, they really wish to create accounts in the YouTube, and at the same time they're getting some money also, right?
Hmm.
Nowadays, based on the
Yeah.
views, right? So simply they will embed their videos into their web pages, right? So yeah, canvas elements. So these are the related to graphic elements, SVG and canvas, but we are not actually going to discuss much on this because the canvas, even I didn't work anything so far in the canvas because canvas is mainly used to make something in the 2D. If you want to
Hmm.
create a diagram in the 2D, you need a canvas. But for that, we definitely need CSS support and as well as mainly JavaScript support as well. So this is mainly related to gaming sector only.
Okay.
Okay, so the in HTML5, what are the main features that we have, right? And most of them are related and integrated with JavaScript only.
Hmm.
Most of them. Okay, so we cannot simply use them like how we used to write HTML elements like header, footer, div, paragraph. Not in the same way. Majority of them are associated with the JavaScript support. And geolocation API. What is stands for a geolocation API? Have you ever heard that in the geolocation?
Yes, I've heard of it.
What is that? What is that?
Uh, I don't know if I can explain, but is it like having
Okay.
it's basically GPS sort of?
Yeah, something like that. But GPS in general case, it will come to your mobile device, no?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I
when it
don't.
comes to geolocation API in sense, whenever you open any shopping cart or any food ordering websites, right, it will ask you one small pop-up, use your location here. Somewhere it will come,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So that is geolocation API. Let us see if they provide any information on this geolocation API. Let us see. Yeah, if you see canvas, if you see, where see, I mean, this is something related to JavaScript. If you want to build something like this using with Canvas, it's not something only Canvas. You need to write some JavaScript also. Let me make it bigger.
Mm.
Okay. So most of the time, Canvas will straight away associated with the JavaScript only. So that is separate subject. Yeah. So
Okay.
geolocation OPA. Okay. So whenever when we, one second. Yeah. So whenever you see the code again, it is also mixed with the JavaScript only. It's not something like that. But the geolocation, when you click on this, right? Test your app. Yeah. So it will ask something like this, right? Even in mobile device, yeah, or your browser also, it will ask somewhere here, confirm your location or allow your location, something like this. Once you click on that confirm button, it will take actual your location.
Mm.
Right, so that is geolocation API is the feature in JavaScript, sorry, in HTML5, but in reality everything is coming with the JavaScript only. It's not something in a normal plain element.
Mm.
Okay. And local storage, these are again, it is JavaScript supported base. That is the reason I told you many of the features are supported with JavaScript only. Okay,
Okay.
when we
Mm.
really works with the JavaScript, right, we have that session as a JavaScript session. So in that session, we can discuss all these points. Whatever are what are the features in HTML5 which supports with JavaScript.
Mm.
Okay. I think this is the only thing that you have seen somewhere in your the one which you showed me, right? Responsive
Yeah.
images, SRC
Mm.
set, and I actually, to be honest with you, I never used this. Not
Mm.
sure how really it is working. I believe
I
that
tried
it, will- hmm,
I tried like whatever they had, I put it in CSS to see if it works.
it is
The same.
working.
Uh no.
Oh, no, okay,
Like it,
okay,
it was
because
it was work. There was no error, but
mhm,
it wasn't correct.
okay. Even I didn't work on this response image because this SRCC set is in it. We can able to see like there is a two JPG files here, not two. One, that is, this is the common logo, and small JPG, medium JPG, and large JPG. Looks like when your system screen comes 240 width, small JPG will appear, and when it comes to 300 width, medium JPG will come, and when it is 720, maybe large JPG come.
Mm.
Maybe we are routing something, responsive images. They have mentioned, right?
Yeah.
Responsive images. Yeah, this is the maybe only option we have. I mean that is how they made it, I believe. But yeah, I'll check out this how actually it is working. And one more thing that we don't know still, like whether it is going to support in all the projects or not,
Mm.
and what exactly context that they provided earlier. To create responsive images on the web, you have to rely upon several lines of CSS and sometimes JavaScript. True. However, HTML5 makes the process handy by including src set attribute to specify multiple versions of an image at difference. Yeah, the same thing I told you, right? Multiple versions of the image. Where when it is a 240 width, it is one image, 300 width, maybe W stands for width, I guess. Different screen
Mm.
resolutions. Okay, looks like this is something not associated with the JavaScript. Responsive images. So far in six features that we have seen, first one is semantic elements, and second one is something related to audio video. Those are purely HTML related stuff. And again this one, sixth one, that geolocation, canvas, and local storage. These are all again uh, uh, supported with the JavaScript. Again web works. What is it? Web workers. This is also JavaScript supported only.
Mm.
Drag and drop API. This is also related to JavaScript only. Form enhancement. What is the form enhancement? What exactly it is? It looks like it's a normal form only. But they made additionally HTML5 introduced new features for your existing forms on the HTML to create a more robust user experience. Some of the key enhancements in the HTML5 include new input time. Okay, times such as the email URL and more. I think we discussed it the same day. We have a input type. We discussed like what are the common input types we have, like input type text. I think you can tell me what are the input types we have so far as per the session that we have.
Input types? Mm,
There, Dashna,
yeah,
we have a form elements, right?
yeah,
You are referring to your notes or what?
kind of. Would it be just
No, you
regular?
have to remember, no.
Yeah, would it be like button checkbox?
No. Input type checkbox, input type button,
Yeah,
input type text, input type password, input type radio, input type checkbox, input type uh, file, input type reset, input type button, input type submit,
yeah.
input type number. In the same way, also we have few of them been added, like input type email, input type URL,
Mm,
all these additional features form enhancements, nothing new.
okay.
Okay, when it come to again WebSockets, again it is related to JavaScript support. Micro data. Even I'm not sure what exactly the micro data it is. Cross document messaging even, but it supports with JavaScript only. But even I'm not aware of this. So far, I know till this 10 points, but this 11 and 12 I never worked with them. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so the bottom line is that when you see that the features of HTML5 compared to HTML4 and 5, what you have to know is there is a semantic elements and audio and video support of them, and few of the enhancements of form enhancement. If you see that entire list of 12 features, only 3 of them are related to your subject. Rest everything
Mm-hmm.
is supported with the JavaScript only. That means whenever you want to learn something, this thing you should learn JavaScript first, then only you will get it,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But when we work on JavaScript part, and when you learn the JavaScript part, again we are not actually going to learn all of them, because as I told you, Canvas it is completely related to graphic related stuff and gaming related stuff. First, if I want to explain, I should learn for the gaming section first.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, but
Uh-huh.
few of them, I'll definitely explain. Like this is one of the very important feature. Local storage is a very important feature in HTML5, along with the JavaScript support. Very common thing used in the real-time application, even the big applications.
Mm,
But definitely, I'll tell you these kind of features which we are using real-timely very frequently.
okay.
Okay, but this
Mm,
responsive, I believe the same way what I explained you, right? In the same way only it is there. But yeah, I'll more look into this and what exactly it is.
mm,
Okay, so there is no
okay.
much apart from whatever the elements or whatever the attributes that I have explained so far in HTML or HTML5. Even the everywhere wherever you go, majority of the cases you can able to see only this, nothing new.
Mm,
Because HTML is the something like a kind of language which communicates to browser. It has a very limitation. You can't even expect that good user interface with the HTML. You can say that HTML is raw material kind of stuff,
mm,
or a kind of a skeleton thing. So the scope
okay.
also not increased in since last 10-15 years also the scope has not increased. There is no much new things to learn in the HTML. Of course, until these features, these are all not straight away with the HTML, right? These are something related with JavaScript also, and not so no like a 30% or 40%. Almost 90 to 100% of these all these features are associated with the JavaScript only. So we cannot say that this is something purely HTML5, right? Or
Yeah.
HTML4 or 5, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So when we are dealing with the HTML4 or 5, whatever the elements that we have covered so far, that's it. The scope is that much only.
Oh,
Yes. Because if you see any website, now you decided to build the layout, whatever the layout that you want to, right? I
Mm-hmm.
gave you that option. Okay, you can go any layout and uh, make it build from the scratch in your own way. You can open any website and you can find in the view source, and now control U, right? Now you can
Yeah.
see any other elements, whatever the elements that we discussed so far. Of course, this is something I believe built with any framework. But if you something do like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is something you are seeing new here, apart from the points which we discussed? Are you seeing
The
something new?
semantic uh,
I mean, this
elements.
section we discussed it, the semantic elements only that
Yeah.
we covered right already.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling that what are the some new
Oh,
elements that you are
no,
seeing apart from that what we
there's
discussed.
there's no new elements.
No, that's what I'm saying. The scope is not that much. This is
Okay.
the HTML. So we have to agree that this is the HTML. That's it. There is no much things to learn. The scope of
Mm.
HTML is only this much. Actual HTML I'm talking. That's what I'm saying. You can go any web page.
Yeah.
Okay, you can go any web page. So span we discussed is a inline element and label will come under the forms element.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and span again, anchor tag, span, label, and when you go with that other divs, h1, everything we covered only, right? Divs, we can see classes and all here and there, everywhere spans. Script tags we didn't discuss, of course, and there is no much use on it.
Mm.
But something you can't see in the, I mean, whenever you select no script, right? So you don't see any user interface for it.
Mm.
Okay, but there is no much. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Maybe in other way we can say that no, our HTML part is done. No, not text, not we do not have any extra things to explain about HTML.
Mm.
Okay, the scope is HTML is only this. That's it. So if you
Okay.
remember my initial days of statement, there are a lot of elements in HTML, but in real time we are going to use maximum 15 to 20 only. You remember my
Mm.
statement?
Yes. Yeah.
Now
I remember.
now I hope you understand what exactly the meaning of the statement. If
Yeah,
you
I do.
see the day, you can see all the elements only repetitively.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see any something new. This is one of the real-time website only, right? This society6.com. This is not
Yeah.
something I'm operating. And that is the reason
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling, whatever the website that you can go and you can find it. You can check it. What are the elements they have been used. And that the same kind of elements going to be repeat. Same div, same anchor tag, same order list items, nav, same semantic elements only.
Mm. That's
For
cool.
sure, you can't even able to see that audio and video elements in the websites. It's a very rare cases for sure.
Mm.
Because the problem with them, they're those elements won't support all the browsers. So people in general not interested to put their branding videos and all using with this audio and video elements. Simply they will create an account on YouTube and they will make it that.
Mm.
Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, so HTML related stuff is done. So what you have to do is you have to prepare notes for yourself. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Today, once this session is done, you can prepare certain notes of it. Like what are the elements that we have in HTML? What so far we completed? So for yourself only,
Okay.
you don't need to share with
Yeah.
me. So at
Like a
least you will
cheat
get
sheet.
an idea that yeah, what are the elements that we have and attributes maybe.
Mm.
So if it's something okay, hey Sai, I have seen somewhere this new element, it is completely new for me. I think we didn't cover that. Yeah, show me that. So we can maybe we missed that or no, we can connect. So far, whatever we are using in day-to-day application in real time, I have covered all of them.
Mm.
Yeah, so if you come up with any new thing, yeah, let us talk more on that.
Okay.
Is okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now when it comes to CSS also, we covered already CSS2 version, whatever the properties that we were discussed. But
Mm.
CSS3 is something we have a new features on CSS3. we didn't cover all of them. We covered only few things in CSS3. The two, the text shadow, box shadow,
Yeah.
border radius.
Mm-hmm.
These are the things we have covered in CSS. Still, few of them are left. Yes, we can check that, few of them. What exactly the CSS3 properties. And of course, we covered media queries as well, which is part of CSS3 only again. Hmm. Border image, backgrounds, colors, color keywords, gradients, shadow, text effects, web fonts. This is something, the fonts which I told you at the red font face, right?
Yeah.
PDF file, OTF, WOFF, right? This is also
Mm-hmm.
we covered at the font family. So the font, we have to give the font name and SRC. We just discussed it, right, about that
Mm-hmm.
font for some and Google fonts.
Yes.
Yeah, so what we have to additionally should know is 2D and 3D transforms,
Mm.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, is that fine? We can sit for another 30 minutes, or we, do you think we can stop?
Uh, we can go another like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Go
Okay.
for
Fine.
30.
No issues. Okay. Yeah. So CSS 2D transform methods, and I'm just still thinking that is there any other topic we need to cover before the or not? Box sizing, media queries, flex we discussed. First, let us check that what are the things we have. Selectors, comments, color, background, borders, margins, padding, width, height, box model, text fonts, icons is something. Yeah, this one only. Font awesome. They also suggested font awesome. Links, anchor, color, font family, background, and all. So right, how to make. Okay, the other website that you have seen. What is this? Uh, Not this one. Authority or something is there, right? You know how to make that button and all.
Uh,
Yeah,
no.
this button.
Uh-huh. I
You know
didn't
how
make
to
it.
make. Then how you handle this?
I just made it a regular button. Like I didn't do the hover yet.
Okay, at least without hover, still you made till this much also, or you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
You did, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what I mean, you understand, like, what are the properties to add to make normal button to this style?
Yeah, I just added with height and color.
Color, background color, border,
Yeah,
text align, center, and all,
gradient.
right?
Mhm.
So now you want me to explain this, or you are okay with it?
No, I got it.
You got it. Even including hover
Yeah.
also you got it?
And however, I know how to do. I just didn't do it for that one.
Okay, you didn't do it, you know. Okay, okay. That's
Yeah.
good to hear that, yes.
But if I want to
Okay.
make that button link to something else, you just do like what is it called? Like href and then slash
Yeah,
whatever
so
page.
yeah, whatever the page, it should be like some another HTML file only.
Okay. Because after
Yeah.
practicing on Society 6, I figured that out.
Okay. Okay. List also we discussed, like how to make this order list, right? You remember
Mm-hmm.
that?
Yes.
We covered table, actually we didn't cover so far. Interesting.
We did in the beginning.
We did? I don't remember.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was, you told me to, yeah.
display property, block level, in level, max, okay, min width and max width. We covered that, in media query section. But yeah, we can when we are making practical things, that time we can discuss that min and max, position, absolute, and all, right? Z
Mm-hmm.
index. overflow. Okay. The problem is, these are all related to tasks, examples, not exactly the properties. I mean, of course, in WD it's using property, but when I explain a task wise, then we will get it. Float,
Mm.
we discussed align, combinators. So these are the selectors, combinator selectors. This plus space and all.
Mm.
Image sprites. This also we discussed in today's session. Forms we have. If you understand how to make the button in this way from normal button, then definitely
Mhm.
you can make the normal input to this style,
Yeah.
isn't it? Or you want me to
Yes.
explain that?
No. I. You just make it big and then like do it in CSS, right?
Yeah, you have to add a CSS. Okay, we'll do one thing, no? So what we can do, right? So one second.
Mhm.
Not this one. Okay, now we have this sample. Okay, label is for this, right? File name.
Mhm.
And when you have a input type text, we have. Okay,
Mm.
now usually if you want to enter something on this input field, right? You can enter whatever you want, right? This we know.
Yeah.
But when you really click on this name, this first name, right?
Mhm.
Still it is allowing you to add something. You didn't click on the input field.
Oh.
You observe that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So why it is coming? On what basis it is coming?
Because it's under the form.
Okay, because it is under the form. Okay. If you remove this form, then it won't work as per you, right?
Yeah.
Still it is
Oh.
working.
Mm.
Okay. So the scenario is, instead of label, if I make some span element here, when I run on this, see, is it working?
Yeah. It's not working.
It's not working now, right?
Mhm.
And the cursor also been changed here. When it is a label earlier, when I run it, when I click on this first name, the cursor is changed here, right?
Mm.
Now I'm
Yeah.
not actually clicking on the input field. I'm clicking on this first name. When I click on the first name, the input is asking for a selection. It is ready to add any value. So the only thing we have is, if you want to add a label before the input element, don't go for any of the other elements. We have a element called label, and when you see this label, right,
Mhm.
for is f name here, and if I delete this for here, and now I'm running that, and now if I click on first name, do you think it is not working, right?
Mhm.
Okay, now label is important and this for also important here. And why this for is important? If you observe input type text, and id is fname and name is fname, and this for
Mm.
also fname only. Now I'm going to remove id here and run it. And just if I click on name, it is working.
No.
No, right? Now
Mhm.
come back to id, and now I'm going to remove name here and run this. Now it is working again, right? So what it means, whatever the ID that you want to give for input, the same ID value should be equal to label for also.
Hmm.
Okay, so in such a scenario, when you click on the label also, it is allowing you to write something.
Hmm.
Okay, the focus immediately started here.
Yeah.
Clear? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a few properties here, like border 20 solid blank, padding 20 pixels, box shadow 1 pixels, 1 pixels, 1 pixels, 1 pixels, hash DDD. Run it. Now I have this, right? Maybe I
Mm-hmm.
can add not with not 100%. I'm going to get it to 200 pixels, right? And I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to add a border radius 6 pixels. Instead of black, let me add same color here so that, yeah, right? Now it is
Mm-hmm.
an input field. Now when I want to write something in that input field, right? Now and now we have, like, I forgot to tell you one more thing. Placeholder equal to enter first name. When I click on this, you will get that an enter first name as a placeholder here. Okay, this is not actual text, but when you release your mouse on this input field, no, that will go away when you start typing something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me make that font size also. What is the font size here? It is small letters only, right? It's not something big. So font size is 16 pixels. Yeah, right? Now
Mm-hmm.
it looks like an input field. Now, so far you understand up to this?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, whenever I hover on this, right? Not over, when I want to add something, right? I need to click here. When I'm clicking that, I can see some black color border here, right?
Mm.
So now I want to add different color. Instead of black color, I want to add some other color, like a blue color. So how I'm going to handle this? Input colon focus,
Mm.
because whenever we enter this, we consider this as a focus event.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to add border
Color.
color blue. In this way also I can write, or else I can write, border again 1 pixel solid blue.
Mm.
Okay, it is not working. Why it is not working? Uh, tu- 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 tu. Outline none. Yeah,
Mm.
let us make 2 pixels here. Now you can see blue color here.
Mm.
Okay, so when I hover on, when I focus on this, border is coming 2 pixels solid and blue, but I made that an outline also none. When I focus on the default outline, I'm changing to none, so that you are not
Mm.
able to see the actual black color, and whatever the border that you are looking at, it is coming.
Mm.
Clear?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. And hover also you can, how to do that, but yeah, I'll just show you. Hover, right?
Yeah.
This is hover, and when it comes to focus, you can change to green, so that by default is something. When you hover something, when you click on this, focus on it. So the over is actually, I think, overriding this. Now
Mm.
after that, green is coming,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. So usually we will give hover to only for a buttons, not the input fields in general case.
Mm.
Yeah. What else is pending here? Yeah. Now, if you want to see some default value, sometimes you may see some default value here as a first name. Okay. So we have an
Mm-hmm.
attribute called value. Mm, HTML input and run it. Now you can see default value here, HTML input.
Mm.
Okay, you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the default value. If you want to put some data, see if there is no value, right? Whatever you enter,
Mhm.
that becomes value, obviously, right?
Yeah.
But if you want to see any default value, you have to add a value.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So now we'll start about the CSS. What is that? The 2D transforms. Okay. So the browser supports whatever the properties we have, right? So everything is showing what which browser and what is the version it is going to support. We're not actually going to use all of them. We are going to use very few of them, like this: translate, rotate, scale, like this. Okay. How are we gonna
Mm-hmm.
try this? I think better we can start this fresh by tomorrow or day after tomorrow. 2D, 3D transfer. I'm just finding to complete any small task because it takes time. This 2D, 3D, this transition animations. We definitely need an entire session to complete one, two, three. These four are very important.
Mm.
Uh, there is a continuity required for this. Okay. We cover that that select drop down in
No.
forms? No,
No.
right? Yeah. Within the form, what we can do, right? The same label we can keep. Select value and select. You won't get anything. We'll just get a default this one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But within this select, what you can write option option one. Just to copy these options. Okay, and now run it. Now you'll get a select drop down here. You can select whatever. Okay, let's change this option 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, option 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can select whatever the option you want.
Mm.
Again, same way how we have applied the CSS and all, right? In the same way only we can apply this select drop down also. Like the default padding and all, we can give it to it. We can
Mm.
write we can apply a class to it. I think you know that from here onwards, like select whatever the properties like padding, borders and all, you can apply it. But what else additionally when it comes to this? Yeah, we have an option of multiple. When we enter multiple, right, all the options will be coming like this. We can select
Uh-huh.
multiple. Now I'm selecting that option one, and you should select a control until you select any other thing. In this
Mm.
case, you can select multiple. When there is no
Mm.
multiple, it will be standard drop down. You can select only one value, not multiple.
Okay.
You cannot select
Mm.
multiple. right?
Mm-hmm.
What else is required really still? I don't see any important thing apart from these four. Let us see CSS3 features. Anything we need to cover? Yesterday we saw some diagram, right?
Yeah.
Media queries, compatibility. Okay, this is very important. This transition and animations, and these two we can cover in one session. 2D and 3D transformations and transitions and animation. This is the important topic. Yeah,
Okay.
we can cover that. The gradient one. We can look. We
Mm.
can have a short look on this. Shadows we
Mm.
already covered, right? I think the other day
Which one?
we did the shadows,
Yeah, we
text
did.
shadow, box shadow. In the same
Mm.
way, we have actually gradient also. You
Mm.
know what is meant by gradient?
Yeah. Yeah, like one
Yeah,
color to another.
uh, not one color to other. I mean other color. So you can say gradient is a mix of multiple colors.
Mm.
Yeah, gradient is a mix of multiple colors. In that, we have a different styles of gradients, like rectangle, circular, like reflection, all of them.
Mm.
Earlier, when there is no CSS3 gradients are came into the picture, what we have to do is we have to make a one gradient. Let us say gradient background. Yeah,
Mm.
um, I'll give you an example of it. Let me give an example for better understanding. Yeah, we can take this one as example. Now, if you want to create this background in the web, okay,
Mm.
what are the options we have? So we cannot keep this entire image as a background image because this file has a lot of weight. Only for a background purpose, we cannot keep this much of background image for a web page. Okay, but how we can handle this is we can crop this to a small height, but width is only this much. Okay, height is
Mm.
maximum 2 to 4 pixels only, so that it comes to only this much. Okay, only that line. So we are taking that line and we are going to add a background image in CSS, and we are repeating that.
Mm.
Okay, in the repeat we have a x and y axis also. I told you yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Let us see now if we get any image now, we can try it out. That say background image CSS repeat. Yeah, like kind of this. Yeah, I think this is the best choice to make them. Now
Mm.
copy image address, and when we paste it, there is an image, right?
Yeah.
When it is very large image. We don't need this much large. We need very small image to check the functionality. Yeah, maybe this much is fine. Yeah. So let us say this is our web page, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the body, what I'm going to do here is instead of this background color, background URL, in this URL, I'm not actually going to save this image. I'm straight away using this URL. This is also something called like a CDN only. Again, I'm not
Mm.
saving this image into my local and I'm not giving the local path. Okay, I'm just
Okay.
trying to show you, right? So I no need to save and all. So again, I'm taking this URL because whenever this URL leads, I'm seeing this image. This image is loading with this URL. So I'm just copying this, and in here I'm just pasting it like this. See,
Mm.
I have a complete background here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is the default property for it? Background is background hyphen repeat. If I if I make no repeat, it will don't repeat.
Mm.
If I make repeat in x-axis, it will repeat only horizontally. If I
Mm.
make repeat y, it only repeats vertically.
Mm.
But when I make repeat, background repeat is only repeat, it will repeat horizontally and vertically, whatever the screen width it has,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
So this is that, this is how we used to handle the gradient image. We need to just crop the small image, and we are actually repeating in this way. So that it
Mm.
feels like there is some gradient image at the background. But when
Oh.
CSS3 came into a picture along with that gradients, we have a same kind of background image only we are going to use, but it is in a different way. Now we'll discuss, CSS background gradient. Let us see here. Yeah. So there are a few generators for us which they will generate the background. Let us say example, you can select whatever the colors of background you want. You can make that, and you can do this. You can change that also. There is no point. Okay.
Mm.
First, what you have to do is you have to fix one background, and there are some different styles here. Is either linear or radial.
Mm.
Okay, and when it is a linear, you can change the degrees also.
Mm.
Okay, once you are good with it, what you have to do is scroll down. Based on that, the code is generated here.
Oh, okay.
It is very difficult for us to write in such a way, because we have to write in a linear gradient. When I selected a linear here, if you select radial here, right, it is going to change as a radial gradient.
Mm.
So we have this feature, but the point is we cannot, write all these values, how much percentage is, and also we have this feature in CSS. But when you write it manually, you won't get it how that output is coming. So for that only we have a lot of CSS generated websites. So you can you can select that any colors like whatever you want, and we have a different styles also here, right? And what you
Mm-hmm.
have to do is simply copy this, and you have to, now I'm going to remove this background URL also here. I am pasting now. Now see,
Mm.
there is
Yeah.
a background here, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the advantage of the background, I mean this gradient is, one is that we no need to go for a image, no image, background image, and no repeat. Okay, and we no need to think about it, how much percentage we have to give, what kind of color we have to give, and all. Right. So if you really want to make that, manually, if you want to write, that is also it's a possible thing. You can write, if you see that, the tutorials website, it will give you, clear-cut information, linear
Mm-hmm.
gradients, radial gradients, and conic gradients, how exactly it is, directions, colors, top one, colors, top two. This it will give, but we do not have that much time to look into
Yeah.
that what exactly it is, because when we have
Yeah.
a generators and all, right,
Mm-hmm.
we don't need to spend this much of time, right, on this.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
when you really customize it, when you want a customization, still you can make the customization here also, but the small things you can handle within the code once you understands that how exactly it is working, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in general case, if we need any background, right, so we'll straight away go this kind of editors only, because it's a simple process, where we can handle the percentage also here, right?
Yeah.
Color code, you can change the color codes here, and you can add the colors here, and the brightness of the color also we can manage here. So
Mm.
everything you can handle here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So from here itself, simply you can copy this and you can paste into web page.
Okay.
Copy, just paste here. Nothing else.
Mm.
Clear?
Yes.
This is only CSS gradients is this much only.
Okay.
Okay, you can apply whatever the gradient you want, but usually nowadays nobody is not really interested to apply the background colors, gradient colors to their website,
Yeah.
and it is a more fancy website.
Yeah.
As you are well aware, you are doing that UX and you are taking training on
Yeah.
that, right?
And
Yeah.
my
So
professor used to
nowadays
hate.
nobody. Yeah, yeah.
My
So people are
professor hates
start
it.
hating on gradient images. But earlier it was
Mhm.
like huge. People are very attracted to make that gradient images. But now no one. As long as
Mm.
site application with the cool colors with one or two colors, they feel that it is more good user interface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's stop from here, and we can
Uh-huh.
focus on rest of the things
Yeah.
on Friday.
You'll be there tomorrow?
No, I won't.
Okay. Just want to make
Yeah,
sure.
I mean yeah. That is the reason I spend bit more time yesterday and today.
Yeah.
Okay, so the main thing that even meanwhile, I'll also check is there any other points that I need to cover. That mainly I can see that 2D 3D transforms and CSS animations and transitions. These are the
Yeah.
very main thing that we need to cover.
Mm-hmm.
In case if you see something like and you don't understand, yes, you have an option always. You can keep a note of them and you can ask me in the sessions.
Okay.
Okay,
Got it. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Thank you.
Anything else?